Alright, so today we are going to define 5 words that we use every day, multiple times a day, and know how to use them properly. But if we were asked what's the definition, it's almost impossible to provide something. So let's get into it.
Number 5.
Alright, first one we'll look at is as. Now, one form of this is easy. It's the simile version, like or as, for comparison. But I was thinking more like in terms of like when somebody says, as you were. How do you define that form of as? What does that mean? It starts the sentence. It's just telling people to continue, but the whole phrase is telling people to continue what they were doing. That as, what does that as mean? So let's just run through all these definitions I have. There's an adverb form of it, used in comparisons to refer to the extent or degree of something. Go as fast as you can. Conjunction, used to indicate that something happens during the time when something is taking place. Frank watched him as he ambled through the crowd. Used to indicate by comparison the way that something happens or is done. They can do as they wish. Preposition, used to refer to the function or character that someone or something has. It came as a shock. During the time of being, the thing specified. He had often been sick as a child. Let's see what else they got in here. Crowd. As they wish. Okay, so we have one here for conjunction as well. Used to add or interject a comment relating to the statement of a fact. As you can see. Oh, there we go. As you were. As you can see, I didn't go after all. So maybe that form would be used to add or interject a comment relating to the statement of a fact. As you were. Maybe that would be the same. As you can see. Because, since. I must stop now as I have to go out. Even though. Sweet as he is, he doesn't pay his bills. Yep. And then the origin. Old English, al soi. Regular English, also. Middle English, as. As number 2. An ancient Roman copper coin. Okay, we never use it as that way. Latin, as a unit. As, Latin, a unit. And now they're just kind of getting to the other stuff. So I guess that's the definition of as.
Number 4.
Now we're going to look at does. So does has a pretty basic definition, apparently. It's just third person singular present of do. Okay? That doesn't seem right to me, though, because when you're asking a question, does this have to go outside, say? How is that a part of do? I guess you could say, do you want this outside? I don't know. So we'll look at do's definition because they basically lead you right into it. So it says verb. Third person present, does. Perform an action, the precise nature of which is often unspecified. Something must be done about the city's traffic. Perform a particular task. Dad always did the cooking on Sundays. Work on something to bring it to completion or to a required state. It takes them longer to do their hair than me. Make or have available and provide. Many hotels don't do single rooms at all. Solve, work out. Joe was doing sums aloud. Cook food to completion or to a specified degree. If a knife inserted into the center comes out clean, then your pie is done. Often in questions, work at for a living. What does she do? Produce or give a performance of a particular play, opera, etc. The Royal Shakespeare Company is doing Macbeth next month. Informal. Perform a particular role, song, etc. or imitate a particular person in order to entertain people. He not only does Schwarzenegger and Groucho, he becomes them. Informal. Take a narcotic drug. He doesn't smoke, drink, or do drugs, just like me. Attend to someone. The barber said he'd do me next. Vulgar slang. To have sexual intercourse with. Informal. Have sexual intercourse. Okay, how is it both vulgar slang and just casual informal, but yet it means the exact same thing. Informal. Urinate or defecate. I've never heard of it that way. Do? Maybe D-O-O. Doo-doo? I don't know. Achieve or complete. Travel a specified distance. One car I looked at had done 112,000 miles. Travel at a specified speed. I was speeding, doing 75. Make a particular journey. Last time I did New York to Pennsylvania round trip by train, it was over $80. Achieve a specified sales figure. Our best-selling album did about 1 million worldwide. Informal. Visit as a tourist, especially in a superficial or hurried way. The tourists are allotted only a day to do Verona. Spend a specified period of time in prison or in a particular occupation. He did 5 years for manslaughter. Informal. Finish. Get out of here. You must sit there and wait till I'm done. Be over. The special formula continues to beautify your tan when the day is done. British. Give up concern for. Have finished with. I would sell the place and have done with it. This is ridiculous. Why do these notifications always show up? You know, it says put it on Do Not Disturb when you're doing a video. And I put it on Do Not Disturb every time. And yet every single video you see this crap always popping up. I've had only one video that I actually worked on. I finished the video and I saw I had some notifications that actually didn't interrupt my video. It's annoying. And now I'm interrupting my video to complain about it, but it's just annoying. Anyway, there was way too many definitions for this. What are we talking about? Does. Whew. There we go. Act or behave in a specified way. They are free to do as they please. Make progress or perform in a specified way. Get on. When a team is doing badly, it's not easy for a new player to settle in. Have a specified effect on. The walk will do me good. Resultant. The years of stagnation did a lot of harm to the younger generation. Be suitable or acceptable. If he's anything like you, he'll do. Informal. Beat up or kill. He was the guy who did Maranzano. Informal. Ruin. Once you falter, you're done. Informal. Rob a place. This would be an easy place to do, and there was plenty of money laying around. Informal. British. Swindle. In business, you have to do your competitors before they did you. Informal. British. Prosecute or convict. We got done for conspiracy to commit murder. Terrible British accents. Verb. Third person present. Does. Used before verb. Except be, can, may, ought, shall, will. In questions and negative statements. Do you have any pets? Used to make tag questions. You write poetry, don't you? Used in negative commands. Don't be silly. Used to refer to a verb already mentioned. He looks better than he did before. Used to give emphasis to a positive verb. I do want to act on this. Used in positive commands to give polite encouragement. Do tell me! Used with an inversion on a subject and verb when an adverbial phrase begins a clause for emphasis. Only rarely did they succumb. Origin, Germanic, which then went to Old English, done. Dutch, done. German, tun. And then do. Old English, done, of Germanic origin, related to Dutch, doen, and German, tun, from an Indo-European root shared by Greek, tithemi, a place, and Latin, facere, make do. Okay, that's the ridiculously long definition of does, I guess. On to the next one.
Number 3.
Now we're going to look at how. How is an adverb. It is in what way or manner, by what means. How does it work? Used to ask about the condition or quality of something. How was your vacation? Used to ask about someone's physical or mental state. How are the children? Used to ask about the extent or degree of something. How old are you? Used to express a strong feeling such as surprise about the extent of something. How kind it was of him. The way in which, that. She told us how she had lived out of a suitcase for a week. In any way in which, however, I'll do business how I like. Old origin. Old English who of West Germanic origin, related to Dutch ho, also to who and what. How, to. Exclamation. How? A greeting attributed to North American Indians, used in humorous imitation. Origin. Sioux. How. Omaha. Ho. How. Early 19th century. Early 19th century, perhaps from Sioux How or Omaha Ho. That one was much shorter. All right, on to the next one.
Number 2.
Okay, now we're going to look at of. So of is a preposition. That's the only thing I knew about of, was that it was a preposition. Somehow I remembered that from 3rd grade. Otherwise, I don't know, what does this mean? I mean, you're looking at this now, but what does of mean? So let's see. Expressing the relationship between a part and a whole, the sleeve of his coat. Expressing the relationship between a scale or measure and a value, an increase of 5%. Expressing an age, a boy of 15. Indicating an association between two entities, typically one of belonging, the son of a friend. Expressing the relationship between an author, artist, or composer and their works collectively, the plays of Shakespeare. Expressing the relationship between a direction and a point of reference, north of Chicago. Expressing the relationship between a general category or type and the thing being specified which belongs to such a category, the city of Prague. Following a noun derived from or related to a verb, followed by a noun expressing the subject of the verb underlying the first noun. The arrival of the police, followed by a noun expressing the object of the verb underlying the first noun. The murder of the 2 boys. Where the head of the phrase is a predicative adjective. It was kind of you to ask. Indicating the relationship between a verb and an indirect object. With a verb expressing a mental state, I don't know of anything that would be suitable. Expressing a cause. Oh, good. He died of something. Indicating the material or substance constituting something. The house was built of bricks. North American. Expressing time in relation to the following hour. It would be just 2:45 in New York. Okay, so we got the origin. Is Germanic, Dutch, af, German, ab, of. Old English or Germanic origin, related to Dutch, af, and German, ab, from the Indo-European root shared by Latin ab and Greek apo. Of. I think these are just turning into other things. I wish this would say variant spelling of ob assimilated before af as an offend. Yeah, I think these are not what we care about. All right. And now the last one, which we use an insane amount of times per day, and is probably impossible to define off the top of your head unless you're some kind of literary scholar, is
Number 1.
the. How do you define the? Oh man, this is not working. Yeah, there you go. How do you define the? It's, like, we use it all the time, but how would you put words together that would define what that word even means? It's just a word that we just know how it works. So, let's see what the real definition is. The. Determiner. Denoting one or more people or things already mentioned or assumed to be common knowledge. What's the matter? Used to refer to a person, place, or thing that is unique. The Queen. Informal and archaic. Denoting a disease or affliction. I've got the flu. With a unit of time. The present, the current. Dish of the day. Why are they putting the in there? You can't put the word that you're trying to define in the definition. So this should just say present, current. See, that's how hard it is to define. You have to use the word in its own definition. Informal. Used instead of a possessive to refer to someone with whom the, here we go again, speaker or person addressed is associated. I'm meeting the boss. Used with the surname to refer to a family or married couple. The Johnsons were not wealthy. Used before the surname of the chief of a Scottish or Irish clan. The O'Donoghue. Used to point forward to a following. What? Used to point forward to a following qualifying or defining clause or phrase. The fuss that he made of her. Chiefly with rulers and family members with the same name. Used after a name to qualify it. George VI. 3. Used to make a generalized reference to something rather than identifying a particular instance. He taught himself to play the violin. Used with a singular noun to indicate that it represents whole species or class. They placed the African elephant on their endangered list. Used with an adjective to refer to those people who are of this type described. The unemployed. Used with an adjective to refer to something of the class or quality described. They're trying to accomplish the impossible. Used with the name of a unit to state a rate. They can do 120 miles to the gallon. Enough of a particular thing. He hoped to publish monthly, if only he could find the money. Kind of like I hope to make a video daily, but sometimes I'm just too tired or something. Anyways, pronounced stressing the, used to indicate that someone or something is the best known or most important of that name or type. He was the hot young piano prospect in jazz. Used adverbially with comparatives to indicate how one amount or degree of something varies in relation to another. The more she thought about it, the more devastating it became. Used to emphasize the amount or degree to which something is affected. Commodities made all the more desirable by their rarity. Origin. Old English se, sao, thate. Ultimately superseded by forms from Northumbrian and North Mercian, of Germanic origin, related to Dutch de dat and German der das. Ooh. Alright, so that about wraps that up. Those were 5 words that I was thinking about, that we use all the time, that are hard to actually put down a definition to. I hope you agree with me that these words are hard when there's no definitions right in front of you. And if there's any that you think should have been on this list that are possibly harder, let me know and I can make another follow-up video. I did think about this for a couple days, and these were the 5 I could come up with. So I had another one, but I took it off because I thought these ones were probably better. Or one of these ones, I should say, I thought was better, so I replaced that other one. And yeah, until next time, I said, see ya.